مساء الخير، كيفكم؟ لسه في طلاب مش داخلين على المحاضرة، بدنا نستناهم كمان شوي، يعني 3 و4 3 و5 دقائق بس على بين ما أفتح لكم أنا على صفحة المادة، على صفحة الدرس اليوم. هذا طيب، هاي الصفحة. احنا اليوم رح نبدأ بموضوع جديد، وهو آخر موضوع بهذا الفصل، وهو الadjective clauses. يعني نسبيا هذا الموضوع مش جديد علينا، ولا حتى الناون كلوزز كان موضوع جديد، يمكن حتى الناون كلوزز أجدد من موضوع الادجكتيف كلوزز، لكن الادجكتيف كلوزز أو الريلاتيف كلوزز كنا نسميهم أحيانا، هو موضوع يعني مر معنا في أكثر من مكان وفي أكثر من مساق. اليوم رح ناخذ فكرة نحن عن adjective clause, the meaning of adjective clause, what are the relative pronouns that are used with adjective clauses, and the meaning of each one of these relative pronouns. يعني each relative pronoun, what is the item or what is the element to which it refer. طيب، شو اسم القناة بعد إذنكم؟ يعني خلينا نشوف كم واحد صار معنا. لسه ما معنا إلا 7 طلاب. طيب، بالنسبة لموعد المحاضرة أنا بعتقد إنه ثابت، مش هيك؟ موعد المحاضرة بالعادة بيكون ثابت، يعني إلا إذا كان في ظرف طارئ اضطرينا إنه ما نعطي المحاضرة بوقتها ونأجل موعد المحاضرة أو نسبق. الوضع الطبيعي إنه المحاضرة اتفقنا من بداية الفصل إنه رح يكون على الساعة 3 بشكل يومي. طيب، خلينا نبدأ إحنا، بكفي لحد هون انتظار، هي لنا 4 دقائق بننتظر. خليني بس أركز الصفحة وأبدأ معاكم مباشرة. طيب، أعملكم شير للصفحة، للسكرين، للشاشة، ونبدأ الشرح. إذن today our new subject and the last subject for this summer course. I hope this summer course was one of the successful courses that you have ever attended, and I hope that you get benefits from the courses that you have taken in this summer course. I know the summer course is very short and it is intensive, but it is good because it makes things easier when you are going to register for your new first semester. And we hope that the first semester will be in campus, not distant learning, because distant learning is sometimes very boring, I feel, and it lays a big burden on your shoulders and ours as well. Today our topic is adjective clauses or adjective clause pronouns used. Our topic is adjective clauses, as I told you. An adjective clause is a clause. As we defined the clause before, a clause is a group of words, or it is a sentence which contains a subject and a verb as the main component of the sentence, but it is not a full sentence. In what case it's not a full sentence? Because it cannot stand alone. It is a dependent clause. It needs other clause to understand the meaning of the relative clause. أيوة. Okay, now let's start with the adjective pronouns, or what we used to call them relative pronouns. the adjective pronouns, each one of these adjective pronouns works, or it can substitute one component of the sentence, or substitute a certain element in the sentence. Let's take the first example here. I thanked the woman who helped me. Look at the sentence above. I thanked the woman, she helped me. Here in these sentences, there are two sentences. The first one, I thanked the woman, full stop, this is a full sentence. She helped me. She, look, which is in bold, when we combine these two sentences to form one sentence, we replace she with one suitable relative pronoun, She here is the subject of the second sentence. So what is the appropriate relative pronoun that can substitute a subject? It is who or that. You can use either who or that, and both are acceptable. Look at the examples. I thank the woman who helped me, or I thank the woman that helped me. I thanked the woman. Which woman? About what? About which woman do you speak? I thank the woman who helped me. In this case, who helped me, I specify which woman I am talking about. There are too many women you might know or you might see. But which one of these women did you thank? I thank the woman who helped me. I specified, and we call this kind of relative pronouns or relative clauses, we call them restrictive relative clauses. Why? Because I restrict my focus on one item. Here, the item is the woman I thanked. If you replace who with that, they give the same meaning. Notice here in A, I thank the woman, it equals a main clause. Who helped me? This is an adjective clause, and as we agreed before, an adjective clause is a dependent clause that adds a meaning, or it gives us more information about a certain item in the sentence. In A, the adjective clause modifies the woman. Training modifies the woman. It gives us more information about the woman. It specifies which woman I am talking about. طيب. Look here, another example. The book is mine. This is one full sentence. It is on the table. This is another full sentence. Now we want to combine these two sentences to make one sentence. In order to make them one sentence, we need to make some changes and some replacements in the sentence so we can make a whole meaning with both sentences. Look at the examples. The book which is on the table is mine. Here, which is on the table is an adjective clause that modifies the noun book. What is the difference between a noun clause and an adjective clause? We said before that the noun clause is a clause that works as the subject or the object in the sentence, while the adjective clause usually modifies a noun. دائما ما يعرف أو دائما ما يوضح ويضيف معلومة إلى اسم. في النون clause كان يحل محل الاسم نفسه، لكن هون the adjective clause it modifies a noun. The noun here, which is modified by the adjective clause, the book. Which book? Tell me about which book you are talking. The book which is on the table. I modified which book I'm talking about. The book which is on the table is mine. We can also replace which with that. They give the same meaning. The book that is on the table is mine. The book that is on the table is mine. And it is here also a restrictive relative clause because we specified one specific book that is on the table. In A, look, the explanation on the other side. Who is the subject of the adjective clause? We talk about this example, the above one, here, this one, afwan. Okay, who is the subject of the adjective clause? That is the subject of the adjective clause. In each case, the relative pronoun who here and which here they are the subject of the relative clause. يعني هي تحل محل السبجكت في ال relative clause. واتفقنا إحنا relative clause it's a clause or it's a group of words that contains a subject and a verb, which here is the subject and is the verb. Note here A and B have the same meaning. C and D have the same meaning. يعني إنه either you say who or that they mean the same, which and that also mean the same. Who is used for people, or what we call them animate objects, which is used for things, or what we call them inanimate objects, that is used for both people and things. Who, it is used with people, animate مع الأشخاص, which is used with inanimate object, أشياء غير يعني لا تعود إلى إنسان, objects يعني أشياء غير عاقل, that is used for both people and things. Next, look here, we have a correct and an incorrect use of the relative clause. The book that is on the table is mine. The book is mine, that is on the table. Usually and always, not usually, always the relative clause comes after the noun, the adjective clause comes immediately after the noun it modifies. That is when you want to modify a noun, you insert or you usually place the adjective clause which describes the noun immediately after the name or after the noun. It's not usually a name. مش بالضرورة تكون name. It's always a noun. The book that is on the table is mine. The book is mine that is on the table. Here it's not a good sentence. It is يعني it is a weak sentence. It's not it doesn't conform to the norms of the correct sentence. An adjective clause closely follows the noun it modifies. زي ما حكيت لكم إنه it usually or it is always follows the noun it modifies. A clause, خلينا نشوف شو حاطين هنا notes قبل ما نروح نحل شوية تمارين. A clause is a structure. رجعنا حكينا بنفس الموضوع. A clause is a structure that has a subject and a verb. There are two kinds of clauses, independent and dependent, as in the examples. You remember that this discussion, we discussed it when we talked about noun clauses. The main clause, I thanked the woman. This is the main clause. It is called independent clause. Independent because it gives the meaning and it can stand alone without the help of other clauses. An independent clause is a complete sentence and it can stand alone. The adjective clause, who helped me, is a dependent clause. Why it is dependent? Because it needs another clause and it can't stand alone. It needs another clause to make the meaning clearer. A dependent clause is not a complete sentence. It cannot stand alone. A dependent clause must be connected to an independent clause. إذن دائما لما يكون في عنا independent clause عفوا لما يكون في عنا dependent clause we need another independent clause to make sense يعني حتى يصير في عنا معنى. طيب نكمل أو خلينا ننتقل لبعض التمارين. Exercise 2, looking at grammar. Choose all the possible completions for each sentence. Do not add any commas or capital letters. طيب, we have here only three sentences. The first one is done. I met the doctor who helped my father after the accident, or that helped my father after the accident. طيب, 2. خليني أشوف كم طالب صرتوا بس 15. شكله بآخر الفصل الطلاب بملوا يبطلوا يحبوا يحضروا محاضرات. Number 2, where is the magazine? And who, that, which, and it has the story about online theft. Which? لأنه مد يلا الله يكون بالعون. هانت على كل الفصل كله أوشك على إنه ينتهي. إحنا المد عنا زي ما اتفقت معاكم إنه يكون الأربعاء في نفس موعد المحاضرة اللي هو الساعة 3. المد رح يكون إن شاء الله أنا بعثت لكم على الجروب يعني بعتذر إنكم بعرف بتحلوا قاعدين بس لأنه الشغلة أحياناً بنسى أحكي فيها بس يعني ما بعد ما أخلص. فأنا بعثت لكم اليوم على الجروب إنه في 3 مواضيع فقط داخلة بالامتحان الميد، وهي الباسيفز، الكونديشنالز، والجيرندز اند انفينيتيفز. وأنا لاحظت عندكم في يعني من خلال الأسايمنت اللي صححت لكم إياه العلامات جاهزة، بس أنا كان في بعض الطلاب عندهم مشكلة بالملفات اللي سلموني إياها، فطلبت منهم تعديلها علشان أنزل علامات مرة واحدة. على كل الأحوال ما راح أنتظر كثير، أنا اليوم إن شاء الله دغري بدي أنزلها. طبعا أنا كنت اليوم مداومة، يعني أنا وصلت على البيت قبل ما تبدأ محاضرتكم فقط ب10 دقائق، فعشان هيك يعني في شوية أمور يعني بالجامعة وشغل خلي الواحد شوي يتأخر ببعض الأمور. إذن sentence number 2, where is the magazine which has the story about the online leaflet? طيب, do we have another possible answer in this sentence? Do we have another possible? Thank you, يا سلام. Yes, that اللي هي B. اللي هي B. That has the story about online leaflets. Number 3, did I tell you about the car salesman tried to sell me a defective truck? Who and what? Who and we have 2 possible answers here also. Here it is who and that. Did I tell you about the car salesman who tried to sell me a defective truck? Did I tell you about the salesman, who that tried to sell me a defective truck? Yes, that's right. Number 4, the house is across the street from us is going to be rented soon. The house, here you want to decide whether this is a person or an object or an inanimate object. Which and what? We have 2 possible answers here also. Which and that. Excellent. Which and that. The house which is across the street or the house that is across the street. Excellent. طيب, exercise 3. هون الأمور بعدها سهلة، يعني ما في خربطات بين الهو والwhich فقط. They are always the subject of the relative clause. في كل الحالات هي subject. And which and who can be replaced by that. Also, which is used for inanimate and who is used with animate, يعني which means people. Combine the 2 sentences, use the second sentence as an adjective clause. We have 2 sentences. We want to combine them in 1 sentence and you need to use the second sentence as an adjective clause. I saw the man, he closed the door. I saw the man who or that closed the door. The girl is happy. She won the race. The girl is happy. She won the race. بدكم هون كمان تحددوا adjective clause modifies which noun and to put the adjective clause closely or directly after the noun it modifies. Usama, the girl who is happy won the race. Excellent. The girl who is happy won the race. Excellent. That's good. Number 3, the student is from China. He sits next to me. The student who is from China sits next to me. Excellent. Number 4, the students are from China. They sit in the front row. Notice here whether the subject is singular or plural, this doesn't affect the use of the pronoun or the relative pronoun or the adjective pronoun. The students the students sit next to me. Thank you, Yadina. This is number 3. Now we are on 4. The students are from China. They sit in the front row. طيب أعطوني دقيقة بس بدي أعمل شغلة بسيطة جدا على بال ما أنتوا لها هي حل يا أسامة. The students who are from China sit in the front row. Excellent. ممتاز. Number 5. We are studying sentences. They contain adjective clauses. Sentences here is something different than the elements that we were talking about in the previous sentences. بس بدي أجيب هالشغلة عبين ما أنتوا تحضروا. We are studying sentences which contain adjective clauses. Excellent, ya Osama. Excellent. Next, I am using a sentence. It contains an adjective clause. I'm using a sentence. It contains an adjective clause. I'm using a sentence that contains an adjective clause. Excellent. Excellent, ya Osama, again. So here you can see that, or you can notice that whether the subject of the adjective clause or whether the name or the noun which needs to be modified by the adjective clause, whether it is singular or plural, you can use who or which in interchangeably. You can use who or that, which or that, without paying special attention to whether the noun is a singular or a plural. Whether it is plural or singular, they are the same. طيب خلينا نشوف موضوع جديد. شو هذا؟ looking at grammar عملناها هاي. What's this? Listening. طيب let's see a new topic or a new discussion about adjective clauses. طيب adjective clause pronouns used as the object of the verb. What we were discussing above are adjective clauses that are used as subject of the sentence. Here we need to talk about an adjective clause or an adjective clause pronoun that are used as the object of the verb. Notice here is a difference between an objective pronoun and a subjective pronoun. Look at these examples. The man was Mr. Jones. I saw him. Here, him is in bold. I need to combine these two sentences to make one sentence and to modify here and to replace the pronoun him with another relative pronoun. The man whom I saw, we can also say who. Either you say who I saw or whom I saw was Mr. Jones. The man, again, the man whom I saw, who I saw was Mr. Jones. ليش حكينا whom? Because in the second sentence, which is used as the adjective clause, it works as the object of this clause. احنا عندنا شو اللي بنستخدمه as the adjective clause؟ الجزء الثاني اللي هي I saw him. بدنا احنا نعوض عن him بريلاتيف كلوز مناسب او بادجكتيف كلوز بسموه هنا adjective clause مناسب. والمناسب لموقع الاوبجكت هو اما هو او whom. The man who I saw was Mr. Jones, or the man whom I saw was Mr. Jones. This is one option. The second option, the man that I saw was Mr. Jones. This is another option. You can replace who or whom by that. The third option is that to omit the relative clause or the adjective clause at all. The man I saw was Mr. Jones. Either you use who or whom, you use that, or you use zero, i.e. to remove the adjective clause pronoun. Or all of these three alternatives are possible. Notice here, in the examples, the adjective clause pronouns are replaced at the beginning of the clause. We used the relative, the adjective clause pronouns at the beginning of the adjective clause. In A, who is usually used instead of whom. يعني it is more popular than using whom, especially in speaking. Whom is generally used only in very formal English. Both are correct, but one is common, that is used in everyday language, while whom is generally used only in formal English. One is formal and the other is less formal, or let's call it informal use. طيب. The other examples here, the movie wasn't very good. The movie wasn't very good. We saw it last night. Here the movie which, notice here, خلينا نحلل أول شيء الجملتين الأولانية. The movie wasn't very good. This is a full sentence. We saw it. We want to form an adjective clause from this sentence to refer or to modify it. It على مين بتعود؟ في الجملة الثانية بتعود على مين في الجملة الأولى؟ It بتعود على الموفي. It here refers to the movie. So we want to use a suitable pronoun to modify the movie by replacing it. The movie, and we usually put the relative or the adjective clause pronoun, we put it at the beginning of the adjective clause. The movie which we saw last night wasn't very good. The movie which we saw last night wasn't very good. We can also use that. The movie that we saw last night wasn't very good, and we can omit the relative pronoun. أنا متعودة أحكي relative pronoun. هو هنا بالكتاب هذا بستخدم لكم إشي اسمه adjective clause pronoun. بس أنا لساني ماخذ على فكرة relative pronoun لأنهم فعليا they are relative pronouns. The movie we saw last night wasn't very good. Notice here in C and F. In C هون هاي وF هون, an objective pronoun is often omitted from an adjective clause. A subject pronoun, however, may not be omitted. If it is objective, it can be omitted. But if it's in a subjective or in the subject place, it cannot be removed. Sorry. Who or whom used for people, which is used for things, that used for both people and things. Here you have to pay attention to these misuses of the relative clauses. The man who or whom I saw him was Mr. Jones. When you use the relative pronoun or the adjective clause pronoun, you need to remove or to omit whatever is extra. Here, whom and him, they refer to the same thing, so you don't need to repeat them. So you need to use only whom or who. The man that I saw him was Mr. Jones. برضو نفس الشيء رح نشطب الهم. The man I saw him was Mr. Jones. I don't need to use another objective pronoun because I already used a relative or adjective clause pronoun. In G, the pronoun him must be removed. It is unnecessary because who or whom, that or zero functions as the object of the verb so. واضحة هاي الفكرة؟ إنه لما يكون في عنا relative pronoun or adjective clause pronoun which is used as the object, an objective relative clause, an objective adjective clause pronoun, you need to remove the pronoun which refers to the same identity in the same sentence. You don't need to repeat them because it is redundancy. It is extra. طيب. Any question before we go on doing the exercises? Do you have any questions? طيب بس دقيقة أنا أشوف الكتاب الورقي. أنا بحب دائما أستخدم الكتب الورقية أكثر من الأونلاين بوكس. أوكي إحنا فعليا هاي الوحدة مش كثير طويلة. You don't have any questions? طيب. Okay. Okay, let's think of the first exercise. Choose the possible completion of each sentence. Do not add any commas or capital letters. The first one, tell me about the people who, whom, or that you visited when you were in Oxford. And 0 also. And then here we have 4 possible answers. Who, whom, that, and 0. Think of 2. Do you want to see the pictures the photographer took? Who, that, which, they, whom, and 0. We have many possible answers to this sentence. Oops, sorry. How many charts do we have? We have 11 charts. Yes? No answer? وين الإجابات؟ وين الشعب العربي وين؟ Do you want to see the pictures? يلا. Which, this is one possible answer. Do you want to see the pictures which the photographer took? This is one possible answer. We have that and also 0. Thank you very much. Yes, Osama and Adnan. Who, which, that, and 0. You can see, you can say, do you want to see the pictures that the photographer took? Do you want to see the pictures which the photographer took? Or you can say, do you want to see the pictures that photographer took? Excellent. 3. The people I call most often on my cell phone are my mother and my sister. The people who I call most. The people whom I call most, or the people I call most. وضل في عندنا كمان إجابة واللي هي لا مش which people يا أسامة. كيف بدنا نستخدم معهم which؟ They are people. We don't use which with people. The people that I call most. The people who, the people whom, the people that, or the people I call most. Yalla, next, number 4, the apartment we wanted to rent is no longer available. The apartment we wanted to rent is no longer available. The apartment which we wanted to rent, the apartment that we wanted to rent, and the apartment we wanted to rent is no longer available. We have 3 possible answers. Next, the children. Children here, people. The children that Smith adopted are from 3 different countries. The children who the Smiths adopted, the children's whom the Smiths adopted, or the children the Smiths adopted. وضل في عنا جواب اللي هو that. ليش دائما تنسوا that؟ ليش هيك that حظها قليل؟ دائما تنسوها. The children that the Smiths adopted. Let's move to the second exercise. Combine the 2 sentences. Use the second sentence as an adjective clause. Give all the possible patterns orally or in writing. The book was good. I read it. I read what? I read the book. So we want to use an adjective pronoun, adjective clause that refers to the book and to use the suitable relative or use suitable adjective clause pronoun. The book that, which, or zero. The book that I read was good. The book which I read it was good, or the book I read was good. Number two, I like, give me one possible answer. ما تعطونيش إجابات كلها, بس give me one possible answer. I like the woman. I met her at the party last night. We want to combine these two sentences to make one sentence. The adjective clause modifies the woman. طبعا هنا على مين بيعود على الwoman. لازم تعرفوا دائما قبل ما تعملوا الادجكتيف كلوز لازم تعرفوا على شو بده يعود هذا الريلاتيف او الادجكتيف كلوز. يلا I'm waiting. Give me a full sentence. Give me a complete sentence. How much time do we have? We have only about 3 minutes for the first session. We will move to the second session after we finish with this one. بس على الأقل خلينا نكمل هذا التمرين. يلا. I like the woman who, whom, or zero طبعا. I met. أيوة يا أسامة, مش حكينا دايما إحنا بنشيل البروناونز الزيادة لما نستخدم الريلاتيف كلوز أو الادجكتيف كلوز بنشطب من الجزء الثاني البروناونز الزيادة. عندك here بدنا نشيلها بتصير I like the woman I met at the party last night. ما إحنا عندنا الهو أو الهوم هي نفس معنى here أو هي بتعوض مكانها وبالتالي بدنا نشيلها. تمام؟ Okay, be careful next time. Number 3, I like the composition you wrote it. I like the composition you wrote it. Here you wrote it. We want to use it an adjective clause to refer to what? To refer to the composition. To refer to the composition. I like the composition which you wrote. I like the composition that you wrote. I read. I like the composition you wrote. Excellent. Number 4, the people were very nice. We visited them yesterday. So this sentence is going to be an adjective clause to refer to the people. دائما احنا بندور على الاسم الموجود في الجملة الأصلية علشان نعرف نكون adjective clause بحيث انه يعرف او يضيف معلومة على الاسم الموجود في المين clause. اوكي. يلا بسرعة معنا بس فقط تبقى دقيقة من الجلسة الأولى. شدوا لي حيلكم. Then the people who or whom I visited, we visited yesterday were very nice. Excellent يا أسامة. شكله الكل نايم ما عدا أسامة وشوي عدنان كان يشارك. لا شارك عدنان كثير مش شوي عشان ما أظلمك يا عدنان. شاركت كثير. أسامة عدنان بالقائمة عندي. أسامة عدنان أسامة عدنان أسامة وعدنان. أسامة وينك يا زن؟ وين يا إسراء رحتي؟ وين مين كمان؟ أسامة هي موجود. إسراء مو ملحق اكتب. بنستناك يا عدنان. يلا انا بستناك. بدي استنى جوابك هالمره. يعني لما استنيتك يا عدنان فصل النت، فصل الجلسة، إيش أعمل؟ خلاص بنرجع هلأ بنستناك دكتوري. يلا don't worry، يلا كملوا. احنا صرنا من عند number 4 the people were very nice we visited. هاي حللنا اياها أسامة. خلينا نشوف 5. the man is standing over there and brought him to the party. So we have here we need to form an adjective clause that refers to the man. اوكي أسامة. طيب ايش المشكلة يا أسامة؟ مش فاهمة يعني شو مناسبة الحديث؟ احنا غيرنا موعد المحاضرة عشان نرضي جميع الأطراف. ما بدنا حدا يطلع زعلان من هذا الكورس، بدنا إياكم تكونوا كلكم مبسوطين وراضيين وكلكم عم بتتابعوا. أوكي خلاص ابعت لي خاص. أوكي تمام. وين صرنا؟ أنا قرأت لكم sentence number 5 وما حدا أعطاني جواب عليها. The man is standing over there and brought him to the party. The man is standing over there. Thank you Salam. The man is standing over there and brought him to the party. يلا يلا شدوا لي حيلكم نلحق بنخلص نختم عشان تاخذوا تعطلوا تدرسوا للفاينل. I'm waiting. The man who is standing over there. Thank you very much يا عدنان وأسامة. Yes يا جازم. What do you want? The man who is standing over there and brought him to the party. Yes الأولى تاعت أسامة لا مش مزبوطة. الثانية the man whom and brought to the party is standing over there. صح. When is the mid exam? It is next Wednesday. It is next Wednesday. Wednesday the 19th. The 19th of August. The 19th of August. Yes, بعد بكرة. The 19th of August. أسامة ركز دائما إحنا الريلاتيف لما نعمل adjective clause بنجيبه كله and brought him to the party. هاي هي الجزئية اللي إحنا بنحولها لإيش؟ بدنا نحولها ل adjective clause. بنعمل التحويلات وبنضيف الإضافات وبنحذف الأشياء بنحذف الأشياء اللي بدها حذف بنحطه مباشرة بعد الاسم اللي بدنا نعرف عليه. The man whom or who or that or zero and brought to the party is standing over there. هيك الصح زي ما عدنان حلها. Do you have any question about this part before moving to the other one? You don't have any questions, so I can move to the next here to the next topic. Adjective clause pronouns used as the object of a preposition. خلينا على الأقل نأخذ هذا الموضوع قبل نأخذ هذا الموضوع قبل ونحل أسئلته طبعا يعني. طيب Adjective clause pronouns used as the object of a preposition. Now we talked about adjective pronouns used as the subject. We talked about adjective clause pronouns used as the object of the verb. Now the new category, an adjective clause or adjective clause pronouns that used as the object of a preposition. Look here at these sentences. She is the woman. I told you about her. We have two sentences. She is the woman. I told you about her. And we want to use an adjective clause to modify the woman here, or to modify the woman, and which is used here after a preposition. She is the woman about whom I told you. About whom. Here in the second sentence, there is a preposition. It is about here. The preposition موجودة about, and after the preposition we have a pronoun. We want to combine the two sentences to make one sentence. We want to refer to the woman because it's an adjective clause. As I told you before, the adjective clause always modifies a noun in the sentence. But in this case, we have a preposition in the sentence. She is the woman. I told you about her, and about here is a preposition. She is the woman about whom I told you. This is what? This is option number 1. 2, she is the woman who or whom I told you about. In the first place, we put the adjective clause immediately after the pronoun. But in the second alternative, we put the adjective clause pronoun in the beginning of the adjective clause, and we put the preposition at the end of the sentence. She is the woman who or whom I told you about. If you want to use in the first sentence, like in A, if you want to use the preposition in the middle of the sentence or the beginning of the adjective clause, you use only whom. You don't use who. In the second place, she is the woman who or whom I told you about. We put the preposition at the end of the sentence, and we use either who or whom. She is the woman that I told you about, or she is the woman I told you about. يعني زي ما كنا نشتغل بالموضوع اللي قبله، لكن اجت هنا preposition at the end of each sentence. But in the first option here, or in the first alternative, we put the preposition at the beginning of the adjective clause, and we used whom, then the complement of the adjective clause. In very formal English, the preposition comes at the beginning of the adjective clause. This is the formal one, and this is usually used in writing, not in spoken language. In very formal English, the preposition comes at the beginning of the adjective clause, as in A, and E. هلا بنقرأ E لحالها. Usually, however, in everyday usage, the preposition comes after the subject and the verb of the adjective clause. يعني بتيجي في آخر adjective clause, as in the other examples. يعني إما بتجيبوه at the beginning of the relative clause or at the end of the sentence. The music was good. More examples we have here. The music was good. We listened to it last night. The music to which we listened last night was good. The music which we listened to last night was good. The music that we listened to last night was good. The music we listened to last night was good. We have also two possibilities. The first one, to use the relative clause after the preposition, like in E, the preposition comes at the beginning of the adjective clause. Then we put the adjective clause, or we put the preposition in the middle of the adjective clause or at the end before. Here, last night is an adverb. So it's not one of the components of the clause. It is an, let's say, not one of the prominent or not of the main components of the clause. So we listen to. We use it at the end of the, after the verb, like listened. ليش في زميلتكم عندها مشكلة؟ والله شوفوا على الجروب إيش مشكلتها هاي الصبية. Note, if the preposition comes at the beginning of the adjective clause, only whom or which may be used. زي ما حكيت لكم في السابق. A preposition is never immediately followed by that or who. A preposition is never immediately followed by that or who. إذا لما يكون في عنا the preposition comes at the beginning of the adjective clause, we only use either whom with people and which with inanimate objects. But we cannot use who or that or which or who or that. So we need to pay attention to this to these details. For example, we have incorrect. She is the woman about who I told you. هاي خطأ. نحكي she is the woman about whom I told you. The music to that we listened last night was good. خطأ. بتصير the music to which we listened last night was good. Do you have أوبس يا الله. شو فكرة هاي لما تصير بنسى حالي أنا. معلش تحملوني ثواني. اوكي. طيب لحتى تزبط الامور، اذا عندكم اي سؤال او اي استفسار او اي شيء مش واضح احكوا لي اياه. بس احنا بدنا التمرين اللي قبله يعني بصراحه، الصفحه اللي قبلنا يعني مش التمرين اللي قبله. طيب choose all the possible completions for each sentence. Which one seems the most formal? The sunglasses were under the sofa. The sunglasses which I was looking for, that I was looking for, I was looking for, I was looking for them. Choose all the possible completions and decide which one is the most formal one. I was looking for, this is one possible answer. The sunglasses that I was looking for. Is it formal or informal? Here it is an informal answer or response. Yes. What other possible answers do we have? What other possible answers? which I was looking for برضو صحيحة, and this is also informal, sorry. This is also informal. إذا أنا بدي أحكي لكم على السريع لأنه أنتم عم تستغرقوا وقت طويل. خلص بدنا يعني بدنا نخلص. Choose all the possible completions of each sentence. The sunglasses, which I was looking for. This is one correct possibility. The sunglasses that I was looking for. The sunglasses I was looking for. لا بس هدول. إذا the first three options are the correct ones. 2. The healthcare workers were helpful. The healthcare workers who I spoke to, that I spoke to, who I spoke to them, to whom I spoke, to who I spoke, or I spoke to. Yes, which are the possible completion of this sentence? بس تحطوا لي أرقام. Yes, thank you very much. إذن A. ممتاز. A مضبوطة. The healthcare workers who I spoke to, this is one possibility, and this is informal. The healthcare workers that I spoke to, this is another possibility, and this is informal. The healthcare workers, C طبعا غلط, مش داخل ضمن الخيارات C. The healthcare workers to whom I spoke. To whom I spoke, this is possible, and this is formal. To who I spoke, this is impossible. إيه خطأ, مش داخل من ضمن الخيارات. وآخر واحدة I spoke to, هاي جائزة. إذن the healthcare workers who I spoke to. Excellent. نشوف التمرين اللي بعده. يا ولدي عمهلك يا ربي, شو هذا؟ The man, look, combine the two sentences. Combine the two sentences, use the second sentence as an adjective clause. Give all the possible patterns orally or in writing. بدي واحد, أنا ما بدي كل possible answers, بس بدي واحد, one possible answer. The man is standing over there. I was telling you about. Here I was telling you about, it refers to the man. It refers to the man. The man, I was. خليني في هاي الأثناء عبال ما أنتم مفكرين آخذ حضور وغياب. بكفي اليوم. يلا no answer yet. اليوم 17/8. إسراء موجودة؟
Yes, دكتور.
أوكي, هاي إسراء موجودة. مريح أبو جودة؟ مش موجودة مريح, صح؟ طيب. دينا أحمد سلامة. دينا كانت موجودة بالجلسة الأولى, وين راحت؟ طيب أسامة بحكي لنا the man. أوكي. أسامة بحكي لنا the man who I was telling you about is standing over there. ممتازة. يزن بحكي this is the man whom I was telling you about is standing over there. برضو صحيحة. طب استخدموا لي إياها بالformal use, إن جيبوا لي ال preposition and after the preposition insert or put the adjective clause. ممكن؟ امتياز موجودة. آية خليل. آية. هديل. جازم كان موجود. لانا التعمري. لانا
موجود دكتورة.
اوكي. لانا. جازم موجود I know. لانا where are you لانا؟ هيها موجودة. اوكي. أسيل is not here. محمود يوسف مش هون. عدنان موجود. أسامة موجود. دانيا موجودة. لينا حجازين موجودة. محمد نعيم مش موجود. سليمان موجود. سليمان ولا أنا غلطانة؟ موجود صحيح.
لا موجود دكتور.
يس. محمد السفرتي مش موجود. سلام موجودة. غيداء موجودة. موجودة. أمنية مثنى موجودة. شفت اسمها. دينا غالب. دينا.
يس دكتورة.
أوكي. اليوم مش مبين اسمك، مبين اسم التليفون. سارة عبد العزيز. سارة. مش موجودة. يزيد النجار. أوكي موجود يزيد. أحمد حسين. أحمد
هسه طلع كان موجود.
جد؟
هسه طلع.
وين راح أحمد؟ ليش طلع؟
مش عارف شكله النت أو شيء عنده. هسه كان.
عبد العزيز موجود. هلا الخرابشة. هلا مش موجودة. يزن موجود. صهيب الخواطرة. صهيب مش موجود. إبراهيم حسين يس موجود. في حدا ما طلع اسمه؟ طيب.
أنا دكتورة.
مين أنت؟ محمد المقيتي. يس. أنت لأنه اسمك مش طالع معي بالكشوف خليني أضيفك يدويا. أنا كنت ضيفك على الكشف الأول. محمد المقيتي وهاي موجود. تمام. طيب نرجع للي كنا نشتغل فيه. بحكي لكم عدنان the man to whom I was telling you. ليش to whom؟ about whom I was telling you. The man about whom I was telling you is standing over there. Number 2. I must thank the people I got a present from them. هاي آخر جملة بدنا نعملها مع بعض. بكرة ذكروني بكرة لأني أنا بنسى. ذكروني بكرة إن نحل هذا الواجب. هذا مهم لأنه في طلاب عندهم محاضرات الآن بدهم مضطرين يطلعوا. هم كلهم 3 جمل لا بنعملهم قبل ما نطلع. I must thank the people I got a present from them. I must thank the people whom I got a present from. ممتاز. I must thank the people whom I got a present from, or who or that or who or that. The meeting was interesting. Omar went to it. Here Omar went to it بتعود بنعرف الميتينج. It modifies meeting. The meeting yes. The meeting okay. The meeting which Omar went to was interesting. ممتازة. بس في كمان بدي أعطيكم الفورمال alternative. The meeting yes. The meeting to which Omar Omar went was interesting. هاي آخر شيء, the meeting to which Omar went was interesting. Thank you very much for attending the class. I hope you get benefit. See you tomorrow إن شاء الله. يعطيكم العافية.